you going? I've made a bit of a start, and as usual, I didn't record much of it, but bring us in, have a look, and I'll try and recap what I've done, which is just fiddly stuff. So hold on. Oh yeah, so the Falcon. I love this model. It's got so much going on. And the other thing I like about this model is the Millennium Falcon is a bogan piece of shit held together with baler wire and duct tape. It's it's a rough vehicle, so it gives you a fair bit of leeway to make mistakes, do your own special modifications. You can't make it screen accurate. Which movie? Which scene? So yeah, there's a fair bit of artistic licence, I suppose. But it does make it easier because if you look closely at it, that's a really bad angle. Let me see if I can get that a bit better. Right, that's a bit better. Like I was saying, I love this because you can see exactly how it's been made in most cases. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'd say that's probably half a jerry tank. And that's the other half of a jerry tank. That's, I don't know, probably gearbox differential out of a truck. There's probably a axle stub or something. There's a couple of wheels. Probably some depth charges, maybe another fuel tank. There's probably a vent off a tank or something. Depth charge, torpedo. There's a vent probably off a tank. Round the back here, probably suspension parts off a truck. I'd say there's a head off there's a head from an engine block. That's where they get all the little bits and details from. Most of these parts were hand cut and then stuck on there. Anyway, that you can sort of see how that works. What I'm starting on is these 4 bits. This is the underside of the ship. There's a bit that goes in there. So these bits as they come have got a fair bloody whack of detail going on. And this is the underside of the ship. You don't really see any of this, but I'm going silly, so I'm adding lots of extra detail. So we'll have a look at what I've already done. Close enough. That one's fairly simple. You can sort of see the bits I've added. They're the, the bright white bits. I'm not going to do too much more to that one. That one I've added all of these little bits round the side and a few bits in the middle. One of the bigger bits. So I've lots, the little white bits and pieces. There's a front landing gear off a jet of some sort. I think there's part of a motorcycle handlebar. Just little bits and pieces, and I'll put in these extra bits of wire later when it's had a paint. This one I won't do too much, but again you can see the little bits I've added. It's an indicator off a motorbike, but they're a bit rough now, but I won't do too much more to them. I'll get a spray of undercoat and then they'll be ready to go, and I can get in there with a paintbrush and a magnifying glass, and that's not going to be fun. So yeah, that's more or less where I'm at the moment. There's a lot to do, and the top side is going to have a lot more detail. A shout out to good mate Stu at the Muddler's Workshop. I'll throw a link wherever they go. He's offered to send me he's into plastic models too, so he's offered to send me a heap of little bits and pieces, Greeblies as we call them. Little bits and pieces of stuff that never got used. That's pretty much where we are. Well, you're not here, but I am. Alright, so all those little bits, there's stuff you can buy from the plastic model shop. It's called Evergreen. It's just different sizes of pipe, styrene shapes. It's just flat stuff. What is it? I don't know. 2.1 millimeters by 0.76. Some real small stuff that's 0.6 by 0.3, and you just cut off little bits in whatever lengths or whatever, and just glue them on. There's no plan to doing this. It's whatever you feel like, I reckon. Just as a quick example, got a tiny little bit there. I'm going to stick it on there. What I usually do is I just put a tiny little bit of glue, not on the part. dip your glue in there. Set it on there, and you've got a little bit of time to move it round. Get it in the right spot, and that's it. Simple as that. Just stick them on there. Right, so, yeah, there's our little bit. I know a lot of those pieces are not, they're not as straight as they could be or should be. This is very much practice for me. It's been a long time, and like I said, barely see this. So I'm not overly worried. Plus, it's a bit of a grinder and paint thing, not so much with the grinder. Give me a minute. I'll throw some paint at this. I'll show you again. Tiny, tiny, baby little spray cans. Give that a minute to dry. Coming up, while that's drying, I've got another project that I want to do, because my eyes are, like most of us I suspect, my eyes are pretty shit, and I like to read in bed of a night, and it's really hard without glasses. Glasses are very uncomfortable to wear in bed. So I bought one of these magnifying doodads, which works alright, but it's a bit flimsy and floppy and it's hard to make it stay there, so I'm going to try and make some sort of a holder for it, probably with a LED strip across the top to light up the book. So that'll be coming up soon. Now we're just waiting for that paint to dry, which should be close enough. Well, it's not quite dry yet, but you don't really notice any little irregularities now. And it looks alright. So anyway, there you go. That's about it. I've tied this badly. I haven't finished that beer, so I'll finish that and I'll come back in a tick. Pretty much done. Oh yeah, I'll see you soon.